For our first story, we have I, 25 male, set my sister, 31 female, straight and took my fiancé's, 24 male, side in an argument she caused. She wasn't like this before. How do I reach her? She uses Reddit. I don't, but I figured she'd listen if the advice I get is from this platform. We were having lunch on Sunday at my parents' like usual. We had been there for a couple of hours, had lunch, and I was busy getting play attacked by my nephews to notice her pulling him aside. When we all sat down in the living room afterwards, I reached for his hand out of habit and he pulled away. I thought I did something to piss him off, but he didn't look pissed off and just shook his head, which is his sign for we'll talk later. I waited until we got home and asked him about it, and he said that my sister had pulled him aside and told him it's inappropriate for us to PDA in front of her children, that she didn't need them asking more questions. I racked my brain for the PDA she was talking about, and the physical interactions I had with him were as holding hands, me playing with his band mindlessly while chatting with my father, and him guiding my hand to a spot below his ear that was itching, so I wrapped my arm around him and started running my fingers over it to not outright scratch and irritate it. That's it. My fiancé argued back that we have never been inappropriate or not aware of our surroundings and company. She tried convincing him otherwise because she knows going to him was easier than dealing with me because I would rip her a new one if she brought it up again. She was never like this before. She was the first one I came out to and the first one that supported our relationship up until her kid. She has 2, 7 and 5. The 7 one asked us a question because his friend has 2 moms and how come we switched. It was completely innocent curiosity, and I told him that you sometimes don't choose love, love chooses you. I thought it was appropriate without going into the whole women, men thing. He just nodded and went on his way and never batted an eye again. His younger brother doesn't care either. After that question, she asked me to keep the PDA away from her kids, never made or even pecked his lips in front of the kids, just on his temple or knuckles. This is getting long, but after he told me, I called her and gave her an earful. I told her the kids don't give a single fuck about me holding his hand or giving him a hug in front of them. How is it any different from her interacting with her husband or our mother with our father? She said that it was different because 2 men is not the social norm. I told her to fuck off and stay the fuck out of my relationship and to never talk to my fiancé that way ever again. That's the rundown, but the call was long. I shouldn't have been so aggressive with my words, but we don't need this shit from my own family. I don't know what's gotten into her or how to reach her. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, find out what made her start the absolute crazy thing. That's step 1. Step 2. Set boundaries based on that, I suppose, if she's still doing the crazy thing. Our second commenter says, my uncles were my only role models of a healthy relationship growing up. I don't think I actually saw them touch each other, but they were raised in the 70s 80s, so be a good role model of a healthy loving relationship, that's all that matters. Our third commenter says, you may not be able to reach her. If she's been radicalized, the best you can hope for are some firm boundaries, set and enforced by you. She has no right to tell 2 adults they cannot show affection for each other. You weren't making out in front of the kids, not appropriate for anyone. You were holding hands, totally appropriate for everyone. You can apologize for blowing up at her if you like. You can see if she wants to talk about where she picked up this nonsense. Beyond that, gray rock her. Live your life and refuse to engage. Do not stop being yourselves for her. This is her problem, and she gets to decide her next steps. And I would definitely tell your parents that your sister must have stuck her head in a wasp's nest. You aren't going to cater to her. For our second story, we have boyfriend 25 male used the stocking stuffers I 23 female had for his stocking to put in his mom's stocking. How do I go about this? As the title states, my boyfriend used the gifts I got him to put in his mom's stocking. His reply was, I didn't have time to grab her anything for her stocking, I'm sorry. I just said, that's okay, I understand, but I feel so offended and upset over this. I worked so hard to give him everything I gave him this year as someone who only works part-time and spending the time I have outside of work to take care of the family. How do I go about talking to him about this? I feel guilty for feeling the way I do. How would you feel if your partner did this? That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, he is 25 and couldn't it find the time to get his mom a Christmas gift? It's not like December 25th is a surprise. Plenty of time to put on his big boy pants and get his mom a gift with his money. Don't you feel like you deserve better? Our second commenter says, frankly, this would be a deal breaker for me. It tells me that his mom and his time, money are more important than you. If it's not a deal breaker for you, wrap a box of condoms and throw it in with the rest. It will make things a bit awkward. Our third commenter says, you be honest from the get-go. He is 25, and Xmas is the same day every year. He had a whole year to get stocking stuffers, instead he took your effort and passed it off as his own. Ew. Also, he couldn't bother to get his mom a gift. And stole some you bought to make up for it. This is how he treats what I'd assume are the two most important women in his life. Red flag. For our last story, we have I, male 31, ruined Christmas for my GF, female 28, and I don't know what to do. How do I go about this? My, male 31, girlfriend, female 28, and I have known each other for 3 years, but we've been together for just over a year and we're currently living together. A few months ago, I broke one of our bedside table lamps by accident that she bought off Temu and was really upset about it. She said to buy her another lamp cause it took her a long time to decide on this one that she really liked. She's very particular with the aesthetics of our apartment, and the lamp I broke isn't sold on Temu anymore. Made things really difficult to find one that she'd be happy with, so I was putting it off for a bit. It's Christmas Day now and we just exchanged gifts to each other. She got me a nice buttoned summer shirt and new swimming shorts. Both of which I needed. Very thoughtful, very nice, and I was very grateful. I got her 2 new lamps for our bedside table. I did some research and covertly asked if these lamps look good, and she liked them a lot. However, after opening her present, she thought it was a joke and was not happy at all. Doesn't consider it a Christmas present cause I still owed her some lamps from months ago. Now she's locked herself in our room, saying that I've ruined Christmas for her and I don't know how to approach her. I can't go get her another gift cause it's Christmas Day and everything's closed. She doesn't want to talk to me and I don't know what to do. Update. We talked it out. Appreciate the dog pile, Reddit. Thank you to those few helpful comments that helped guide me through this all. I have a lot to work on. Merry Christmas. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, this can't be real. You gave her a replacement to something you broke months ago? Our second commenter says, you're replacing something you broke and giving that as a Christmas gift? After committing to replacing it? IDK, the reaction might be over that top on her end, but she has a right to be disappointed. It's like she doesn't get a gift because you broke something. Our third commenter says, you broke the lamp. You both agreed that you owed her another one. You can't gift what you owe. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.